Welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Let's rumble. 100 laps of rumbling of these wingless sprints here at the Castrol Edge Lismore Speedway tonight. 100 laps. It's going to be one fantastic race. We are ready. We have been waiting all weekend. This is the end of 2 nights of fantastic racing at the Castrol Edge Lismore Speedway. And the Liberty Fuel Start Car moves on to the infield as we get ready to go. We'll get a green light this time round. It's wingless sprint time. And Jacob Jolly gets them underway from pole position. Trent Martin, he is in second spot. As he ducks down on the inside of Jacob Jolly, he grabs the lead. It ain't no sprint though, this is 100 laps. So it is just time to count them down, settle into the groove, and see how your car lasts. Well, you wouldn't think it by the way these guys are racing. They are treating it like a sprint. Running fantastic lap times in that 15.5 second range. As they count them down, Trent Martin slowly pulls away from Jacob Jolly. But as I said, they got to settle into a groove. But Trent is making sure that he's working that mid-track area, staying away from the grooves on the inside. They've seen the track work that's been done. They know that there's work to be done to build the track out wide. And now is the time to put that work in. And it's not going to be long before our leaders start playing with the guys at the end of the field and having to start lapping through. Jacob Jolly following him through. Then it's back to David Eggins, Seaton Young, Kevin Willis, Mitch Bootland, Michael Butcher, Robert Mazza. Back to Brock Gardner after that. These are all great names that can actually come up with the goods tonight, all depending how this plays out over the next 92 laps that are left. But it's Trent Martin and Jacob Jolly. And there's a fair gap between the two of them. Some 3 lapped cars that Trent Martin has got past. He's got the early setup. How is it going to pan out as the laps get away? Jacob Jolly hiking up that front left-hand wheel as he goes around turns 1 and 2. Certainly got that very tight at this early part of the race. 10 laps down, 90 to go. Trent Martin is just peeling these laps off. So quick. He's got about a third of a lap on Jacob Jolly. David Eggins, he's nailed the setup for the early part of the race. He's worked that mid-track area and is now working wider, making it so much easier for himself to pass cars when he comes up on them. He's got half a lap basically on Jacob Jolly back in second spot. And Jacob Jolly is not exactly going slow either. But Trent Martin just going really wide now out of turn 1 and 2. He's got 4 cars that he's got to get past to keep the flow going. And he's going to work it. He's worked that high line already. He knows the track that's there. And he's got the 34 car coming out in front of him as he tries to go around, not realising that Trent Martin was there. That 34 car is the Cattell car. It's been driven by Ray Eggins. but it's just beautiful to watch. Trent Martin in action tonight. And Jacob Jolly will be hoping for a restart at some stage to put him back in touch. But we've still got 82 laps to go, so plenty in it. No need to start panicking yet. But I have never seen in a 100 lapper such a dominant start by anyone. Trent Martin is just making this early part of the race his own. And he's got about the length of the back straight between him and Jacob Jolly. So David Egan's got some work to do as well. He's going to the inside to see what he can do there, getting in a few, just getting in front of one of them, pushing it out wide. Now he's coming up on the 42 car. That's Seaton Young, who we said was one of the faster ones. As you can see, the magnificent effort by the people he's now starting to pass. He's lining up Seaton Young to lap him. Okay, we've got one round over there by the Castrol sign, bunked up by the fence.
Okay, Neil, we've got a little bit of a break. We've got a restart here coming up. We've got Robert Mazza up against the wall. Quickly, I just got Errol Campbell here. He's the first guy out of the race. Errol, what's put you out of the race?
Yeah, well, we blew an outside steer, or probably through a hole, or who knows. But anyhow, that's how it is. That's racing.
Mate, you've had a pretty good weekend, actually. You're going really, really well. That's probably disappointing, but...
Yeah, the car's been going pretty good all weekend. We had a few hold-ups along the road, but we're pretty happy with the car, and I would have loved to have been out there to finish this race tonight.
Thanks for that, Errol. The last thing he wanted was a restart, but that thing is an absolute rocket ship.
I don't know what he's done. It's got the hell of a strong motor, but the setup is magnificent as well. He is just turning this track into his own. It's just so smooth. Look,
the thing is, he's driving well on the top. Let's see how it happens from here. But it's Trent Martin and Jacob Jolly off the front row. This will be interesting.
It will be, and this is what Jacob Jolly has wanted, because 3/4 of a lap behind, and yeah, he was lapping like you wouldn't believe. He was picking them off one at a time. He was dicing with Young. That was the guy he was behind, and Seaton Young sitting in 8th position. So that was pretty big effort to get to be lapping everybody by the 8th car.
Yeah, I just hope. Yeah, let's hope the thing's just as fast off the restart.
And let's see how we go. Jacob Jolly's gone off a bit early, and that's given him an advantage. But hey, 70 laps to go. What advantage is there? And yeah, we're just going to have to see how Trent Martin lines up. Believe it or not, he's back in 3rd spot. And he's battling with David Eggins, who seems to have found his groove as well. So Jacob Jolly and David Eggins taking the great advantage here. Major frustration for Trent Martin, but he will drive the wheels off this car. He will work it hard. Let's see if he can do it, and he's got to get past his faster cars. We've lost another one. It is the 21 car who pulls, that's Kyle Ian. He's pulled onto the infield. Trent Martin goes low, Trent Martin goes high. He's just trying to find a way around these 2 cars in front of him so he can wind up that rocket ship again. But Jacob Jolly is not going to let that happen. You don't get an opportunity to start on the pole position in a restart when you were well back, 3/4 of a length back from the guy who had you. And now Trent Martin is slid in front of David Eggins. He's gone that inside route to do that. Eggins comes back at him out of turn 2 and grabs that 2nd spot though. And while that is all happening, Jacob Jolly hikes up that front left-hand wheel, turn 1, and goes for it. Gets the drive out of turn 2, down the back straight, and is looking pretty darn comfortable in that car at the moment. So we are running with Jacob Jolly, David Eggins, Trent Martin, 1, 2 and 3. Michael Butcher sits in 4. Then back to Kevin Willis, Mitch Bootland, Seaton Young, Van Hull, John Egan, Brock Gardner, Anthony Grant, and then back to Ray Eggins. Some of those at all. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. It was the literal rocket ship on wheels. Now they start lapping cars. It's the number 30 car who's the first to be done. That is Shane Costello. And they now start working their way through these slower cars. Jacob Jolly in the lead. And they're all taking that wider line at the moment, these faster cars, which is certainly making it interesting and tough for Trent Martin to get back to where he was. However, he'll sit there, he'll keep these guys in touch. He will take opportunity to pass, as he's trying to do now to David Eggins. Just gets down low, hit that rut though into Jacob Jolly, working his way towards these other slower cars. And I think he's catching up on the Reed car by the look of it. Just keep watching Trent Martin, who's still fast and smooth in behind David Eggins. He's got Kevin Willis right behind him though. So Willis is jumped right onto the end of this very fast freight train. The top 4 cars. Jacob Jolly threads the needle between Reed and which other car is that? That is the number 6 car of Brent Russo. Jacob Jolly got a little comfortable lead going here. Now we've got the as everybody chases Jacob Jolly. He's about to come on the back of some more slower cars. Onto the back of car number 30 again, as Shane Costello gets relapped again. Jacob Jolly slips on the inside. This is going to let Eggins and Trent Martin catch up just a little bit. Oh, taking it very tight. Oh, Kevin Willis up onto the grass. He is out. So something wrong with the Kevin Willis car. Number 11 onto the grass. Jacob Jolly about to go past the number 12 car. That is Brock Gardner. Brock Gardner doesn't like that thought though and fights back. Brock Gardner comfortably sitting, where's Brock? Yeah, Brock Gardner is in 10th position, and he's being lapped by our leader. Yeah, that's got to annoy you just a little bit. You're not exactly one of the slow ones out there. And he is about to be caught also. To go. We are well past the halfway mark. Jacob Jolly making it his race at the moment. He's got plenty of pace. David Eggins also got plenty of pace, but he's got a couple of cars, or at least one car between him as he goes around the 47 car, just putting a lap on John Egan. Jacob Jolly, nice and smooth. He does hike up that front left-hand wheel as he goes into turn 1. Okay, he's just picked one off, and now he's got to pick Gardner off, and then he will see David Eggins straight in front of him. 40 laps to go, 60 done. 2 feature races left in this. As Warren King said, you take it 20 at a time, thinking each one of those 20 is a feature race. The 25 car of Maram Kusterin was the car that might get tough for Eggins and also for Trent Martin to pass. They've done that now. Trent Martin on the big chase. Michael Butcher coming through those slower cars as well. And truly in front of David Eggins. And further back again is Trent Martin and then Michael Butcher. They spread fairly well around this track. Not quite half a lap in the lead. Yeah, probably down the back straight now. Eggins is certainly making some ground up on our leader, Jacob Jolly, but there's plenty of ground to be made up over the next 35 laps. Trent Martin is, he's just gone a little wide in the number 17 car, which is Ben Hull. Okay. Maram Kusterin has just gone around with 33 laps to go. So we'll go back to 34 and get them lined up again, which means that Jacob Jolly, David Eggins and Trent Martin, Michael Butcher will be your two first rows, followed by Mitchell Bootland, Seaton Young, Ben Hull, Anthony Grant. So everybody goes to their position.
Yeah, now Eggins, you're on the infield here?
Oh yeah, she just started missing after that restart. I was ready to do the rest of it. I was feeling
quite sure what it was. Mick Reed, he's on the infield. Mick, what brings you here?
I'm absolutely rooted.
Okay, well that's he hasn't got match fitness there by the sound of it. He's huffing and puffing, but anyhow, that's like Trent Martin walked away. I don't know. Trent he looked like he might have been a little bit quicker than David Eggins, but he just couldn't get round him. Then he's got caught up in lap traffic. So this will be interesting off the start. Dave Eggins, he hasn't got a lot of stagger on that car. He might come good in these last 20 laps on the black.
Okay, first five are the only ones on the lead lap. So that's Eggins, Jolly. Or Jolly, Eggins, Butcher and Martin, along with Bootland. They're all on the lead lap. The rest are one lap down. So that makes it interesting in the grand scheme of things. But Jacob Jolly has gotten out in front again. So Eggins, Michael Butcher, then Trent Martin back into fourth. He's actually taken that low line. And it's not necessarily working for him either. That wider line is where the speed has been, and certainly set it up early in the night. But Jacob Jolly is looking good at the moment. David Eggins, Michael Butcher.
Trent Martin, he's got problems there. He's going backwards. He's dropped a few spots now.
Yeah, Trent Martin's got himself out wide again, and maybe he can pick up some pace, get some groove happening. Well, okay, we've got the green light. No, we've got an amber light. I can hear voices yelling and screaming. Okay, we've got cars over there by the Northern Star stand.
Yeah, we got Maran Kasturin around again. He's looped it. Someone else has got involved here. I think it might be, I just can't see it. Is it Brock Gardner? It's the blue 12 car, possibly.
Yeah, that's Brock Gardner,
25
blue 12.
laps to go. Geez, Trent Martin, he's backing up something chronic. I don't know whether that car was set. You know, he had the wind in his face. He could run wherever he liked on the track. He looked like he was just sitting up on that little bit of loose, on the little cushion there was there, and he was flying early in that race. But certainly back in the pack, it's not as good a car in traffic as what it was out in front. So Brett Russo, his car actually looks all the wheels in the right direction. He might get going again, which would be good. We'll just wander over here. I'll just check to see what's happened to Brock Gardner. We're getting an update on everyone. Hey Brock, what finds you on the infield?
Just the car playing up, missing and fighting and carrying on. So just coming into the corner flat out, and then it'll die in the arses, and get tight and make it hard to drive. So, but yeah, drop
Martin's been able to regroup, get his head together.
He's starting on the outside of road 2, which is pretty good because that's where he's found the fast bit of the track. It was when he got down on the inside in that last restart, just that pole line wasn't helping him at all. So, yeah, he's now up there. He's got that little bit of loose stuff under his on one of his wheels, and he's doing okay. Have a look at this. He's trying to get on the inside of the Eggins car. So he's up into third. He's gotten past Michael Butcher. But the car is set up for that wider run, and that's where it's working. But so's everybody else, which makes it really, really hard. Do you go wide? 19 laps to go. They are in the sprint now. The Jacob Jolly. Who can catch him? At the moment, David Eggins can't. David Eggins in second position doesn't have the pace to keep up with Jacob Jolly. Now, Trent Martin might have the pace, but he can't get past David Eggins. As soon as he gets down on that lower line to try and pass him, he loses traction. He just cannot. Trent Martin is settled into the groove. He's in third. He's just dropped back off the Eggins car. Michael Butcher back there in fourth. 14 laps to go. But it is Jacob Jolly who is just continuing his march towards the checkered flag. He's enjoying it. He's running out wide. He's running out where it's a little looser, and he can drive hard out of all the turns. That's exactly the way he's loving it. He's got the car set up for it. He's got that front left-hand wheel hiking up, just making it look absolutely spectacular. It's fantastic stuff. However, his transponder has dropped away. He's now coming up on the look at that lap board going, okay, got to make and set myself up to make a move at the last minute. Even if I don't get Jacob Jolly, I've got to get the next spot up. I want to move to the best position I possibly can. David Eggins will feel the pressure fairly shortly. He's gotten past Costello. Trent Martin is going to get past Costello by going low, but this is not his best place. Costello starts pulling away from him. Michael Butcher catches up with him. There is something wrong with the setup on Trent Martin's car. Well, we got one around over there in turn 4. It is the 42 car that's gone around. That's the Seaton Young car. Pretty sure it was his that went around.
Well, the unfortunate thing for Trent is the bit of track he wants to race on. David
Into one space, don't go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it looks like them two cars are, kind of identical in where they want to run on the track. So, he's dived down the bottom heaps of times. But like you said, when Trent gets down on the inside of Dave, his car sort of backs up. It's just got nothing happening down there as far as drive. Michael Butcher pulled a big move on the inside here. He's lost it with the restart, I think. But, he pulled a big job underneath Trent there.
And let's go. We've got a dash, 5 laps. 95 done, 5 to go. Let's get to the end of this 100 laps. So, Jacob Jolly again grabs the lead. Eggins. Then it is back to Michael Butcher. Trent Martin is desperate. He's gone to the bottom. He's going to go hell for leather. It's all or nothing. And at this stage, it's nothing. And that's going to hurt. But we've got, you got to do something. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different outcome. 3 laps to go. It is Jacob Jolly, David Eggins, Michael Butcher, Mitchell Bootland, Trent Martin. They're the cars that have worked their way to the top of this race. But Jacob Jolly, with 2 laps to go, is a comfortable leader. He gets to pick where he wants to be on the track because of that. And that is going to make the difference. The white flag is out. Jacob Jolly, 99 laps done. He is on the 100th lap for the Wingless Sprints. He takes with him David Eggins, Michael Butcher. It's Bootland and back to Martin. But checkered flag time, He is the winner, 100 laps, Jacob Jolly. David Eggins and Michael Butcher, second and third. Bootland, fourth, and Trent Martin, fifth. That is the way they finish. But congratulations, you have a champion tonight, Jacob Jolly, 100 laps. And he's probably not even puffing in that car. Unbelievable effort. Great stuff.
Pain. I feel his pain because he's thinking, geez, that restart, he needed a few more laps. He could have put some more laps on some of them guys. But, yeah, I feel Trent's pain. But Jacob Jolly drove a hell of a race. Once he got there was no stopping him, and he was just going for the win. David Eggins, like I said, he was kind of on the bit of track that Trent wanted to use, so that made that tricky. Michael Butcher drove up through the field, I tell you. Look out. Jacob's doing something there. Bit hard to do, one of them donut things that sprint cars do in a wingless. You don't kind of have the power to pull it off. Okay. We'll get Michael Butcher up here, third place in tonight's Wingless 100. Here goes to the Cutting Edge Mowers owner driver. Michael Butcher, he's looking for a drink, but we'll get up here and give him a trophy instead. Michael, congratulations. You come on pretty strong there at the end of the race.
Oh boy, I'm so out of condition. First of all, I'd like to thank my wife and Rodney. They put a lot of hard work in. My kids, Cutting Edge, Hustler, and yeah, congratulations to Jacob and Dave. And yeah, it was a good race, I think. Thank you.
Congratulations, Michael. There's a trophy and a little sign. In second place tonight, David Eggins. I don't know whether the setup was any good or not. You looked to be struggling there early on big time, but you've come through again. You've got a pretty good record in these 100 lappers. You pretty well finish up the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, because it's not a race for old blokes, but God, I'm just happy to see those numbers counting down. Yeah, a little bit tight still, so a little bit more stagger would have been fantastic and a bit easier to drive, but hell, I think that was a pretty good race. I saw the nose of a few cars a few times, so hopefully it was a good show for the crowd. Just a special thanks to Mum and Dad, travel everywhere with me. They're keener than I am, and I'd just like to thank them for their help. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Congratulations on second place. I'll give you a little sign there as well. And tonight's winner of the Wingless Sprint 100 lapper, he's over there being congratulated by his crew. Once he got out in front, he was unstoppable, which has been the story all season, really. And give him half a chance, he'll take a mile. And hey, that's the deal. You got to get it. You must have been worried in them first 30 laps when you see Trent Martin. He was just driving away from you.
Yeah, no, I was a little bit worried. I was hoping for a yellow light or something to happen because he just took off. So, but yet again, track was awesome, ripping on the high line there. So. Awesome job, Tone, and thanks to Dave and everyone here for putting on the meeting. All the drivers that come down and done the 2 nights from wherever they're from, thanks to them. All our sponsors that put this night on. Dave and Butch down there, had a lot of pressure from Dave, I felt there at the race. So, but big thanks to my team, Paulie and Dad, everyone on the team that put so much effort in this thing, and Lismore, Nissan and Kia, Caravan City Sales, Territory Road Marking, Valvoline, North Coast Petroleum, B&T Sheds, Territory Road Marking. Everyone on the car and everyone that helps, it's huge. So thanks.
Thanks for that, Jake, and congratulations. Jump over there with the guys. You got, is that the right one? And we got the big check here. You got enough hands? So that's another 100 lapper we log up. I think every 100 lapper every year's had a little bit of a different story attached to it.